Good morning, students. Once again, welcome back to C++ class. Today we'll continue the previous topic only. The last class, what I've explained, what are the control structures, how many types of control structures we have, that we discussed in the last class. Okay, so what are the control structures? The statements which are used to control the flow of execution is called as a control structures. Okay, means based on some condition, if you want to execute any statements, there will use the control structures. Okay, so in C++, we have different types of control structures. First one is selection statement, second one is iteration statements, and the third one is a jump statement. Okay, and in the last class we completed selection statement also. Selection statements are also called as decision making statements and conditional statements. Actually, in this category, first we will check the condition. If the condition is true or based on the condition result, one block will be executed. Means based on the expression result, based on the expression result only the statements will be executed. And in a selection statements, always you will get a two results, either true or false. Okay. Now in selection statement also, in C++ we have two types of selection statements. One is a if and the second one is a switch. Again in if also we have four types of if statements. One is a simple if, second one is a if else, third one is a nested if, and the fourth one is a if else if ladder. Okay. Now this is a simple if statement. In the simple if statement, what we'll do, just we'll check the true condition. If the condition is false, nothing will be executed. If the condition is true, the true block will be executed. Now in if else, it is an extension of simple if. Whatever is there in the simple if, no, just extra will add the else part. Else part means what? Actually it is a false part. The condition is false, what you have to execute. That will be discussed in the if else. Now the next one is a nested if. Nested if means writing a one condition inside another condition. In this phenomena, if the outer condition is true, then only we will check the inner condition. If the outer condition is false, we won't check the inner condition. Next, fourth one, if else if ladder. If else if ladder means if actually that we will discuss. That is a fourth form of if else. In this actually, in case of nested if, what happened if the outer condition is true? We are checking the inner condition. If the outer condition is false, then we won't check the inner condition. Suppose I want to check whether the student is pass or not. Then actual condition is what? If the student is pass means what? The student should pass in all the subjects. So if the student is failed at least in one subject also, the student is fails. Okay, so in that case what we do is, first I will check one subject, first subject. If the student is passed in the first subject, then only we'll check the second subject. If the first condition in the first subject only, if the student is failed, then you no need to go for the second one. In that case, you can implement the nested if construct, where if the outer condition is true, then only we'll check the inner condition. If the outer condition is false, then we won't check the inner condition. Now, one more construct of if statement is a if else if ladder. If else if ladder. Else means what? False block. In the false block, we are implementing a one more condition. Means if the outer condition is false, then where will come? Will come to the else part. In the else part, we are giving a one more condition. Means outer condition is false, then only we are checking the inner condition. If the outer condition is true, we won't go for the inner condition. Actually, this type of if condition is exactly opposite to the nested if. In nested if, what happened? If the outer condition is true, then only we will go for the inner condition. But in else if ladder, what happened? If the outer condition is false, then only we will go for the inner condition. It is opposite. In a nested if, what happened? If the outer condition is true, then only we will go for the inner condition. In if else if ladder, what happened? If the outer condition is false, then only we'll go for the inner condition. For this, I'll give you one example. See, I am checking a grade of the student. For grade of the student, we have a number of slabs. Like if the student percentage is greater than 70, it is a honor. Greater than 60, it is a first class. Greater than 50, it is a second class. Greater than 40, it is a third class. It is a less than 30, 36. Student is fail. So here we have number of possibilities. If one condition is false, then only we will go for the another condition. If one condition is true, then that block will be executed. Okay. So in this case, in this type of situation, we can implement if else if ladder. In the else part, we'll implement one more condition. Okay. Now see the syntax here. If expression 1, it is one condition. If expression 1 is true, the statement 1 will be executed. Okay. If the expression 1 is false, then we will come to the else part. In the else part, what I have given? Expression 2 I have given. Else part means what? False part. In the else part, I am giving the condition. Means if the condition is false, then only we are checking the one more condition. So in this expression result also, if expression 2 is true, means in the else part, if the condition is true, then statement 2 will be executed. In the else part, if the condition is false, again we have given one more condition. Okay, so if the given condition is true, the true block will be executed. If the given condition is false, we are checking one more condition. Okay, understood? If the given condition is false, we are checking one more condition. So here, if you see expression 1 is true, the statement 1 will be executed. If the expression 1 is false, then expression 2 is tested. If the expression 2 is true, the statement 2 will be executed. If the expression 2 is false, expression 3 will be tested. If expression 3 is true, statement 3 will be executed. If expression 3 is false, then else part will be executed. That is statement 4 will be executed. Okay. So only one thing you need to remember. If the condition is false, then only we will go for another condition. In case of nested if the condition is true, then only we will go for a nested condition. That is the difference. You see the flow chart? In the flow chart, first what we are doing, condition 1 we are testing. If the condition 1 is true, what we are executing? Statement 1 will be executed. If the condition 1 is false, then where we are going? We are going to the condition 2. Condition 2 also, there are two possibilities, because always decision making statements yields two results. One is true and the second one is a false. Condition 2 is true, then statement 2 will be executed. If the condition 2 is false, means next condition is tested. So here I have given n number of conditions. The nth condition also I have given true and the false. Condition n is true, then statement n will be executed. If the condition n is false, the statement s will be executed. Okay, so all of you, once you go through the flow chart, because in the exam flow chart also you have marks. Now you see the example program. Here I have written example program to illustrate grade. Means you need to find the grade of the student using a if else if ladder. See how will you calculate the grade of the student actually. So first we will take the student marks or grade, and that we compared with number of slabs. So whichever slab is matching with that result, that will be executed, and the remaining will be skipped. No? So here slabs also, if the one slab is false, then only we will go for the second slab. If second slab is also false, then we will check with the third slab. Okay, now we will see. It is as usual. It is a preprocessor command. IOStream is a stream file. Next I have included one library file, std. Now come to the main function. What is the use of the main function? From the main function only your program execution will be started. In this, you see how many variables I have given. One variable I have initialized. What is not initialized? I have one variable I have declared. What is the name of the variable here? Marks. Okay. Now cout, enter the marks. Cout is the output statement. Like in C programming we have a printf. Now similarly in C++, Cout is the output statement. Now you see the Cin. Cin, like in C program you have a scanf. Now scanf is used to collect input from a user. Similarly, in C++, Cin is a input statement. So whatever marks the user gives, that is stored inside the marks. Now we are comparing that marks with different slabs here. You see, marks greater than 60. Example, I have given 40 only. 40 is greater than 60. Condition is false. False means else part. You see, else if marks greater than 50 and marks less than 60. Actually, I got 40. 40 marks I got. 40 greater than 50, its condition false, and it is less than 60. Okay, condition is true, but it is an AND operator. No, two conditions should be satisfied. So here the condition is false. Again, come to the else part. Else if marks greater than 40, greater than or equals to 40. So condition is satisfied and marks less than 50. Both the conditions are true. So if both the conditions are true, then what message you will get? Your grade is the third class. Okay. Else example, if I have given 36. So 36 is less than 40. So what message you will get? The student failed. Your fail message you will get. Right. Now you see. Example, if I have given 70. My marks are 70. 70 greater than 60. Condition is true. If the condition is true, what message you will get? Your grade is a first class. Like this. So, if one condition, if the first example marks greater than 60 is expression 1, that is not true, we are going for the second one, marks greater than 50 and marks less than 60. If this is also false, we are going for the third one, else if. Similarly, if the outer condition is false, we will check the inner condition. If the inner condition is true, then the true block of that inner condition will be executed and the remaining will be skipped. Okay, this is about nested if. Now, what value I have given? 60. So, what message you will get? You are in first class message you will get. Right. Now, explanation also I have given. You see the switch statement. So, before going into the switch statement, let me give an example. Suppose, to check a student grade, we have only 5, 6 or 7 alternatives. It is easy to find out the grade of the student. Suppose if there are 20 alternatives, then how much code you need to write? Like 13 or 20 alternative means 20 conditions you have to write, 20 true blocks you have to write, 20 false block you have to write. So maximum time or maximum code is going for checking that conditions only. And every time the total code should be loaded into your system to check whether the student is pass or fail. So it is a time consuming process and it required more code and it required more execution time. So in this case what happened, your program execution means your program performance will come down. In that cases you can in C++ we have one more construct called switch statement. Switch is also part of, it is also one of the selection statement. But in switch statement what we'll do, we'll add a more number of conditions. Like in if just now what I've explained only 3 or 4, I have explained program with the 3 or 4 conditions. No? Like that in switch statement at least minimum you can implement 10 to 12 conditions and it is very easy. You no need to write that much code and it is very easy to evaluate the condition also. Okay, so that is why switch statement is called as a multi-way branching system. Here condition, whatever condition you write, that is same. But whatever result you are getting from that condition, that is compared with multiple possibilities. Whichever is matching with that, that part will be executed and the remaining will be skipped. Okay. So now we'll see the syntax of switch statement. Here switch is a keyword. Like a if statement, switch is a keyword. In the bracket, expression I have given, this expression and whatever expression you have given in a if statement, that is same. So it is a relational expression and a relational expression should be in a parenthesis. Now whatever expression result is there, no, that expression result is matched with the constants value. Case, this constant one is there, no, that is called as a case label. This expression result is compared with case labels. Whichever case label is matching with that expression result, that block will be executed, the remaining blocks will be skipped. Okay, so here case is a keyword, constant is the it's a constant value. You can give anything, whatever you have given, that is compared with expression result. And at the end of each block will give the break statement. Why we are giving a break statement? Why? Because if that particular block is executed, then their break will also execute. Once the break is executed, the remaining block will be skipped. Okay, so if one block is executed, then you no need to go for the next block. For that purpose, in each and every block, break statement will be executed. Okay, means written. And your rules are, case is a keyword, and constant, whatever you are giving you, that is called as a case label. One switch statement can have n number of case labels, but case label should end with the colon. And whatever statements we have given inside that block, that should end with the semicolon. Okay, now default is optional. If you want to write default, you can write, but when this default will be executed, whatever case labels you have given, no, any case label is not matching with your expression result, then the default will be executed. Okay, so here in order to write out this switch statement, we need to follow some rules. That rules I will explain now once you go through the rules. Okay, before that, here one flowchart is there. We'll see the flowchart. See, as usual, we'll write the expression. If you are writing the expression, means you will get some result. Whatever result you are getting, that is compared with the case labels. Case 1, case 2, that no, 1, 2, 3 are called as the case labels. So expression result is matching with the case label. Whichever case label is matching with that expression result, no, that block will be executed and the remaining will be skipped. Now, we'll go to the rules. Here, first rule is expression provided in the switch should result in a constant value, otherwise it would not be valid. So whatever you are giving, no, that should be constant. It can be an integer or it can be a character. Okay, so that is compared with the case labels. The second one, duplicate case values are not allowed. Example, case constant one, you have given example. So constant one should appear only once in the switch expression. If multiple times, if you want to give the constant one, it won't accept. What is the second rule? Whatever case labels are there, no, that case label should be unique. Now the third one is the default statement is optional. Your wish. So if you want to give a default, you can give, otherwise no need, because if all the conditions are false, the default one will be executed. Okay. Now see the fourth one. The break statement is used inside the switch statement. Every switch block should have a break statement. Okay, why it should have a break statement? Because if that block is executed, the remaining part will not be executed, no? So that is why at the end of each case block, break statement should be there. Now you see the sixth one, nesting or switch statement is also allowed. If you want to nest one switch inside another switch also, you can write. Now you see the example program here. Actually, for what purpose I have given example program is, here the user will give the day number, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Like if I give 4, it should display Wednesday. If I give a 6, it should display Friday. So to means day number will check, means according to the day number, that day name should display. That is the purpose of your code. So as usual, you see IO stream preprocessor I have included. Next std library file I have included. Next main function. What is the use of the main function? From the main function only a program will be executed, no? And every program should have only one main function. Now one variable I have declared. What is the name of the variable here? Number. Now see out, enter weekday number. The user need to give the weekday number. Okay, and the see out is output statement. So whatever you write here in output statement, that will be printed on the output screen. So what message I have given? Enter weekday number. The user will give the weekday number, and where that will be stored in a number variable. Now you come to the switch statement. Switch num. In num what you have? Example I have given 6. Now it is a block. So immediately after the switch statement, you should give the opening brace. Now you see case 1. Case is a keyword. 1 is called as a case label. Case keyword and case label, it should have only one character space. Now as already said, case label should end with the colon. Now in the case 1, what statements I have given? See out Sunday means, example, if the user is given 1 is matching, no, Sunday will be displayed. Now in the case 2, Monday I have given. So in this, whatever the user gave, example as what I said, I gave 6. 6 is compared with the case label 1, it is not matching. 6 is compared with the case label 2, it is not matching. 6 is compared with the case label 3, it is not matching. 6 is compared with the case label 4, it is not matching. 6 is compared with the case label 5, it is not matching. 6 is compared with the case label 6. So case label is matching. So if the case label is matching, what will be executed? Friday is printed on the output screen, and at the end of the Friday, what I have given? Break statement. So their break is executing means the remaining 7 is not tested. If break is not executed, then we'll go to the 7. But once the break is executed, what it means? The remaining block will be skipped. Remaining after 6, 7, if you have 10 conditions also, that will not be tested. That is the use of switch statement. So here I have given 6, now Friday is displaying. So like this, using a switch statement, you can give a number of possibilities. So how many number of possibilities you have, that many case labels you can give. So every condition result is compared with that possibility. So whichever possibility is matching with that expression result, only that block will be executed and the remaining will be skipped. So this is about your selection statements. Okay, so what is the use of the selection statement? Using the selection statement, we can implement conditions in the program, and based on the condition result, your code will be executed. Whichever block is satisfying that, whichever condition is true, only the true block will be executed. Condition is false, false block will be skipped. So under selection, how many statements we have? If and switch. If is also used to test a condition, switch is also used to test the condition. But in if, what we'll do, we can test a limited number of conditions, whereas in a switch statement, you can write n number of conditions, and writing n number of conditions are very easy in a switch statement. Just that whatever expression result you are getting, that expression result is compared with the case labels. Whichever case label is matching with that expression result, that block will be executed and the remaining will be skipped. So here, if you have only limited number of conditions, then if condition is suitable. But if you have a more number of conditions, then we can implement switch statement. So this is about your selection statements. Selection statement in the exam also depends on the question. You should write this. If they will give only the control statements, only control structures, then you need to write selection statement, jump statement, iterative statement. But especially if they have mentioned decision making statements or conditional statements, then if you explain this much, it is enough. Okay, so based on the question, you need to attempt the answer. Okay, so this is about your selection statement. Iterative statement will continue in the next class. Thank you.